it is pro or who it is anti. That is all that I have to say. You've seen Empuran. If you see another film of mine called Kurudi, there was an opposite narrative for that film. So for me, all that matters is picking up a story that I like and saying it honestly. Every other perception on it is not intended.
Sir, couple of months back, Mr. Tovino Thomas is here.
Okay.
Someone was asking him about why he left a particular film of NTR's, Dragon.
Sorry, what? Why he?
He was not part of a film of NTR's. He said that some contractual obligations do not allow him to make movies in Malayalam.
Okay.
And that means losing out so many Malayalam films for doing one Telugu film.
Okay.
So don't you have any such contractual obligation?
No, I don't have many Malayalam films, sir. So, okay. No.
But you are making films. You don't have any contractual obligation from.
Which is why all my films I only produce, so no contractual obligations.
No, sir. I think I'm asking about Rajmouli, sir. Did he did not keep any clause like
no, he's
not
been
do any film,
he's been very very kind actually. He's been really considerate. He knows that even when I said yes to Varanasi, he knows that I'm doing films in Malayalam, and I can't suddenly tell my producers and directors there that I'm not going to be available for 2 years. He has been very considerate, and I'm actually hugely thankful to Rajamouli sir and Kartikeya for planning the shoot, taking my time into consideration, because it's a big film, lot of complications. So no contractual obligation as such.
Sir, one of my colleague was saying that, but you
sir,
did not
one
understand
question
the
about
question.
nobody, sir.
Yeah, nobody
okay.
question. This is
okay.
There are titles of the film in Telugu.
Okay.
Actually, some of your technical team has messed up the fonts, everything.
I apologize for them. Yeah. Because I am also not able to still look at Telugu and say if it is correct or wrong. We have...
Yeah, the font is completely messed up.
I apologize for them, because we have a usual team actually now in South India who does most of Malayalam cinema. Is actually one or two teams only. They do Telugu dubbing and Kannada dubbing and Tamil dubbing. So we trust them, When they show us the titles from our team, we can only trust them. And we only send it to them to check. We send it to them and say, listen, are the spellings correct? Is the font correct? When they say it is correct, then we have to believe that it is correct, because we also are not able to judge. It's a bit like when you see Malayalam letters, you are not able to judge, the same way. So if it is wrong, if there is a mistake, I apologize on their behalf, and I don't know, maybe we'll bring in a third party to verify from the next film. But it matters a lot that it is right. You're right. I mean, if there are mistakes, it is a genuinely big deal. We have to be careful about it from the next film.
Thank you, sir.
Hi. It's here. Oh. I'll ask question to Parvathy.
Good idea.
First of all, very proud of you for whatever you do. So, you've acted in a lot of films with Prithvi Garu. I think, is it trust? Do you listen to the script, or do you just agree that it is he has chosen the film, so it will be good? Or
don't even know her.
And then third question is, of course, about I mean, this was just about your choice of films and how come you've acted in so many films. What do you like about Prithvi sir's films and his choices? And then especially about Nobody, what made you agree to this role? It's definitely not a lead female role, which you would have loved, but still it is a great role, by the way.
Thank you. What's your name?
Rajeshwari
Garu. Thank you so much for this. It's a 5-part question. How much time do you have? That's my question. Thank you, Andy, for coming and making the time out for our movie. To answer your question about Prithvi, this is something that everybody knows already. He loves cinema in a way that I can only admire and get inspired by. So working with him always means that the conversation with him and the kind of movies he makes, I get a lot of things to learn from. So it's a very selfish motive in that sense, I get to be more of a student around him. And I've also had the luck to be in his films in different capacities. Like I said in many interviews, Meera and Rajivan is not like what we have done before. They're not the couple who are madly in love and, just doting on each other. We started off in City of God. We didn't have any scene together. Then we did Endan Ende Moideen, where we hardly met each other because we are star-crossed lovers. So we had like 2 or 3 really amazing scenes. And then we got to do some amazing films after that. And this one, I had multiple reasons to say yes to the film. But the fact that Supriya was making the film, Prithvi was backing the film, and he was acting as Rajivan, definitely took the cake for me. And Meera for me is the representation of a nobody that is a woman in our society, really. You know, her priorities are straight. She knows what is important. Her struggles are something I don't relate to. So I was very lucky to get into that skin of it. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed working with Prithvi as Rajiv. And I don't think I've shouted at you like that ever. And it was a rather new space to, you know, be in. And I think I saw something, and I put it on Instagram as well. Someone has posted a photo of just the both of us from the climax and said, I haven't seen two actors working in different films have such different chemistry in so many different films. So I have to say I'm very lucky as an actor to be told that it's different with the same actor in different films. So thank you so much for your appreciation. Thank
Just
you.
one question for Prithvi garu also. First of all, congratulations to the Malayalam cinema that you kind of still are able to bring in social aspects, bring in your core politics. We could see that between the lines. And Prithvi garu, this is a question about nobody also, and about generally the Malayalam cinema, which we are seeing that of course you've gone pan India and people like your cinema, but because of pan India the films are becoming bigger, because for example this film has so much of action. I'm sure that must have costed a lot of money. So tell us about Nobody, about the different genres that are into it and the action, and also about, sorry, I always ask two questions so that I don't get a chance again. So anyway, so also about this one thing that's being talked about how Malayalam cinema is making bigger budget films, especially you are a pan-India star and you've made some films like that, and how because of that the film industry may be actually, which has been into a lot of profits, seeing losses. So that's one thing I would like to ask.
So with Nobody, I've said this multiple times that this is a film that you cannot really classify into one genre. Like even as you watch the film, I'm sure if you look back at it, you will realize that, okay, when the film started, you would have thought, oh, this is a film about a bank robbery. Then 5 minutes later, you realize, oh, this is not about who robbed the bank or how they are going to be caught. The film is not about that. Then it suddenly becomes like a social commentary. Then it becomes like a kidnap drama. Then it sort of becomes like a man against system. So it keeps switching its genres. And one particular point of the film, it turns into a Running Man kind of a film where it's one person being chased by the entire society around him, and he physically opposes it. You know, he physically opposes it, and what happens from there on is what the film is about. So the action is part of that narrative. It is not even like usual cinema where you sit down and design and you realize, okay, let's have an action sequence at this part in the first half, and then the interval block, then pre-climax. Here the action is like one continuous block almost in the second half, where it's actually the story is that he is facing one hurdle after the other, and each one of those hurdles is overcome through actual physical reactions. So the action is part of the narrative. It was written that way. Of course, shooting action is expensive, and we had some of the best action directors working for us in this film, including, Yannick Ben's team flew in from France, and he was there, Calais Kingston was there, Jolly Master was there. So it was like a big team working for the film. Now, regarding the budgets of the film, filmmaking is becoming increasingly expensive every day, from equipment hire to location rentals, to of course remunerations. Everything is going up. It is becoming increasingly expensive each day. But what truly decides the budget of a film is the script. Because people ask me this question as a director, because I made a film called Emperor, which is like a big budgeted film. It's not the director who really decides the budget of the film. It is what is written on paper. Now, Nobody is written in a particular fashion, and to translate that into screen as best as we can, there is an amount of money that needs to be spent. I am very lucky that I have Mukesh sir and Sarathi as my partners, because they understand this even better than me. They know, they will read the script and they will tell me if I am saying, okay, this is about, I think we'll make this film at 40 crores. They'll tell, no, sir, this is actually this much money. This is how we can delegate the funds. And they are actually very, very good with that and way more experienced than me. I'm actually thankful that I have Mukesh sir, who's probably more experienced than my age. So he has been around for, I think, as long as cinema is there. So he keeps giving me these pointers, and budgets are decided by the scripts. Malayalam cinema becoming bigger, and that's not about Malayalam. Everywhere you go, this is a problem that we have today, that cinema is becoming more and more expensive. Tahir is here. You know, his cameras are very expensive. You know, his equipment is very expensive. He does not give me discount also. So there, you know, and I only work with him. What to do? So because he has great equipment, so all this is becoming more and more expensive every day. But yeah, there is we try and keep our budgets as tight as we can in Malayalam. Thankfully, we have great actors like Parvathy who understand and come in and cooperate and, you know, be part of a film, understanding that okay, this is how the film needs to be made. Of course, for most of my films, I try and not take a remuneration, and you know, I take a share of the profits if there are profits. So that is how we are able to make these films in Malayalam. Or else there will be big restrictions on what kind of cinema we can make. Of course, in Telugu it's much easier because the market is bigger. We are all aspiring to do what Telugu cinema has consistently done after Bahubali. You know, where how you've really sort of grown and exploded your international territories, your domestic markets, your Indian markets, you know, your dubbed versions market. There is a lesson in there for all of us. So yeah, I mean, hopefully one day budgets will no longer be an issue for Malayalam cinema. Let's look forward to that day. Yeah.
పృథ్వీరాజ్ గారు,
Producer, how difficult to shoot?
మీకు మిమ్మల్ని హుక్ చేసిన పాయింట్ ఏంటి ఇన్ దిస్ ఫిలిం?
My Telugu is not that good. I only know dialogues from Varanasi, so you have to ask me in English.
Can we expect one dialogue from Varanasi?
Absolutely not. 7th of
That's the
April,
contractual
7th of
obligation
April,
he
you
has.
can come and hear it in PCX here.
వర్కింగ్ విత్ మహేష్ బాబు గారు సార్,
Very
At
nice.
least. దట్స్ ఇట్ ఓన్లీ.
We will. I'll definitely see you guys for Varanasi release. You know, that time we'll speak detailed about Varanasi. So,
ఓకే,
Sir,
ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్.
how difficult to shoot action sequences very realistic in I Nobody?
so basically, I really like shooting action. You know, I became a filmmaker through actually shooting action sequences. Like long back in some of my films, when we could not afford action choreographers, I used to shoot the action sequence. That's how I became a filmmaker also. I really like shooting action sequences. But in this particular film, is the first time I'm working with Yannick Ben, who comes from a different school of action choreography. So in India, especially in South India, we have a language that we like regarding how we shoot action, which is a lot of cut shots and, you know, high speed, slow motion build-ups and all that. That's how we like seeing action and heroes on screen. Yannick comes from a completely different school. Yannick, if there's an action sequence which is about, let's say, 5 minutes long, Yannick will come and choreograph the entire 5 minutes. Then he will call the actor and we will rehearse the entire 5 minutes as almost like a dance movement. You know, like the whole 5 minutes we will rehearse. And then what Yannick really tries to do is try and not cut as much as possible. So if you see, it's all handheld and long single shots and all that. Obviously, it's much more difficult to pull off. But the good thing is, you know, Yannick's fighters are also so good, and Yannick is so good with that choreography that it sort of works well for all of us. And yeah, it's a lot of physical work for the actor, but if you pull it off, it becomes very real and raw. Not just Yannick, Kalei Kingston is another really exciting action choreographer that we have. The lift fight in Nobody is done by Kalei Kingston. Now, again, it was not an easy fight to shoot or choreograph. It's just a confined space where 3 people are going at each other. And that also had a lot of challenges. But I was guided by Kalei. He's very, very good. So yeah, I mean, full credit to these action choreographers. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but it's something that I like doing.
Does that rehearsals reduces the budget?
Not really. I mean, see, when you hire an action team, I'll give you a lesson as a producer. When you hire an action team, you're paying them for the rehearsals also. Okay? It is not like rehearsals are free. When you hire an action team, they say 3 days rehearsals and you're shooting in Hyderabad, you have to pay them the money for the 3 days, put them up in a hotel, hire a place for the rehearsal. So that money you have to spend. But it is still cheaper than actual money on set. Okay, on set is your most expensive money. So there, if you can save, let's say, 3 hours a day because you rehearsed, it's priceless. It's very, very good that you can do that. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, we welcome Jakes Vijay garu.
Jake's music director, who's also a star in Telugu, you know, is here.
మాకు సరిపోదా శనివారం టాక్సీ వాళ్ళ వీటన్నిటితో ఎంటర్టైన్ చేశారు అండ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఫస్ట్ సీన్ మీ వర్క్తో ప్యూర్ డామినెన్స్ కనిపించింది. వి ఎంజాయ్డ్ యువర్ మ్యూజిక్ in this film also, as usually, like how we enjoyed in the previous films. So thank you so much and congratulations to you. And Shashi garu kuda join ayyaru and ayana Aadu Jeevitam intaku mundu kuda distribute chesaru, ipudu Nisam kuda distribute chestunnaru ee cinemani.
Prithvi sir and
Hello?
Parvathy ma'am.
Hello?
Just one minute. The characters you played, the very natural and emotional. So the middle class life characters, where you take the references? Is there any references you take from real
Our
life?
life only, sir.
Okay.
Our own life only reference.
My mom and dad.
Have you
Yes.
suffered any point of view lack of money?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
me
grew,
too.
yeah, I mean, growing up, I remember my mother and father, and I love them and I respect them for doing this. They've always been very, very open about our struggles. So, you know, as a kid growing up, I'll see something in one of those exhibitions and I'll be like, I want that, I want this. And I remember my dad sitting me down, it's like, next month I'll get my salary and I'll keep some money aside for this. And it'll be like some lipstick or something. I'll be in 4th standard. I would have seen somebody wear lipstick, something like that. Growing up, I think my parents really made us apart. Even when they fought, not like them, not like Rajivan and Meera, but they fought, I would be much like the younger child, coming and trying to like make truce. My brother would be like our older child, like Nakshatra. It's like, bye, I'm going to go sit and take care of my. So it's a lot of like similar scenarios that I have also witnessed as growing up. So yeah, from our life only. And then of course Nisam and Sameera there. Sometimes I'll feel like Meera will not react like this. And we'll all have a discussion. And yeah, I think that fight scene that, I mean, we both are shouting at each other behind the door. We both had conversations about how it should be and where we'll cut off and all of that. So from our life only, sir.
So actually, as far as nobody and the characters Rajivan and Meera are concerned, it's got nothing to do with money. It is about two people feeling helpless within a system and two people feeling